Okay, this is just a short video. This is Adam with Reading Adam, and today I want to talk to you about fasting. So I am now on day 4 of fasting. Um, I'm only about 7 hours away from having the full complete hours. What is it, 84 hours? Or I don't know. Hard to do the math right now. So I just want to kind of go through the basic experience. I know I've read a lot of things about fasting. I fasted, the longest I fasted before intentionally um, was 2 days or 48 hours. It was actually 56 hours because I slept an extra night. But basically, I've only fasted, I mean, this is the longest I've ever fasted intentionally. And it's definitely the hardest thing I've had to do in a long time. So, day 1 of the fast, I just felt intensely hungry throughout the day. That was the most intense hunger of the fast. Day 2, and I didn't feel weird at all. Nothing other than just being extra hungry. There was that brief period of time at hour 16 where I felt like my brain, I felt very hyper focused, like I was just like a light switch was turned on. I could focus very easily. My thoughts were coming very fluid, whereas that kind of disappeared later on. And then day 2, I was fighting a headache. On day 2, I had a headache and started to notice that my mouth, I just always had a bad taste in my mouth, dry mouth. I guess when you're basically water fasting, um, you have less saliva in your mouth, and bacteria start to grow in your mouth, and you have bad breath, and your mouth feels gross and disgusting. On day 4, like it didn't seem to matter how much I'd brush my teeth or use mouthwash or use a tongue scraper. That didn't seem to make a difference. It's just there, and you don't want to drink too much water to have like a lot of saliva, because then I guess you're also depleting your body of electrolytes if you're peeing a lot, because you're not gaining salts and potassium through food. So, and I tried drinking salt water. I tried drinking a little bit of baking soda and water. I couldn't do it. I would have little sips. Like I just could not. The taste was just too disgusting, and I couldn't do it. So I just thought I'm just water fasting. If I feel like my body's shutting down in any way related to electrolytes, I will just start eating again. You have to give yourself permission. I was like, I'm doing a 4-day fast, and the reason for it, and I'll get into it a little bit further, is gut health. But basically, you have to give yourself permission when you're in a long fast to come back to food if you feel like if you're just feeling too off. Listen to your body. And if you're too off, then stop the fast. So I'm doing I'm day 3. Day 3 was the easiest day. Day 3, the headache was gone. I felt physically slow, and I didn't feel very hungry, but occasionally my stomach would growl, especially if I drank a seltzer water. Um, but day 3 was probably the easiest day. Day 4 now is feels like day 3. Like it feels like it won't be much trouble. Even when I think of food, I don't start salivating. I don't start fantasizing about stuffing my face with burgers, pizza, ice cream, which I don't want to do that, and you don't want to do that when you're fasting for a while. Um, you just don't want to do that because it's going to be so hard on your guts. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to suddenly start eating junk food as soon as I come off the fast. Junk food can wait. I've eaten more than enough junk food in my life. Junk food can wait. Besides, the whole point of my fast was to help correct my gut. So this fast was kind of a purifying fast. It was nothing spiritual. I'm not trying to lose fat or weight from this directly. I am, although my gut does feel a lot flatter after the 4 days, I probably dropped quite a bit of water weight. But I'm not doing this just for fat loss. I'm doing this for gut bacteria. So I had read, and I mean, I read a lot of things, not just books, but a lot of articles online on Medium and stuff. And I came across this guy who was talking about things he did to fix his gut health. Now, my gut health has been very important to me recently because I basically tracked it down to being the number one problem in my life, the number one physical ailment that spread to the rest of my life and interfered with everything. It touched everything. So without getting into details, it's it was becoming a cycle of problems in the bathroom that I just didn't want. I was getting absolutely sick and tired of. I was getting angry about it, and I decided I've always eaten unhealthy. You know, I've worked out. I follow a different workout. Like I've been doing the convict conditioning. I feel in better shape than I've been in, but I haven't corrected my internal health, my gut, my organs. I've not been eating very particularly well all my life. So what I was going to do so I decided I just need more fiber. That was the first thing. I decided I needed more fiber in my life. I was not eating fruits and vegetables. I decided I don't care about eating low carb, keto, paleo. I don't care about a diet. I just need more fiber. So I started eating vegetables. I started eating fruits and stuff that was a bit higher in fiber. And for the first time, like an old man, I bought dried prunes and started eating a prune here and there. Now, at first, I was having, I went way too hard on it, and I had diarrhea for several days from the intense amount of fiber. But eventually, I mean, this thing it took a few weeks for that to go away, and then I started having, you know, more control over it, where I was not worried about the bathroom anymore. And lately, um, I have been. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I was wanting to continue on the bathroom uh, uh, area, but you don't even know about that. So my gut health. I'm fixing my gut health, and so I read this article on Medium about, making your own probiotic yogurt, which I will do. There's this product called Restore, which is for helping your gut, especially if you have leaky gut. Now, I'm doing some stuff to help myself with leaky gut. I'm just assuming I have it. I probably have it. And without taking the test, it's not, you're not doing anything really bad to yourself by assuming you have it and then doing the things that you would do normally to correct that, correcting your gut health. So without taking the tests, I'm just doing some slight things to help correct this. So I bought this thing called Restore, and I didn't bring it in here, but it's basically like a mineral water. It's like drinking dirt water, is what they say. And anyways, you can Google Restore for the gut biome, and you can get more information on that. See if it would be something you'd like to try. Then also, I'm going to create my own probiotic yogurt. I started eating kimchi recently, not during the fast, obviously, but before the fast, I started eating kimchi. I thought I'd hate it. I thought it'd be difficult. I didn't think I'd like sauerkraut, and I wanted something that was a probiotic food, a fermented food, to start rebuilding my gut biome, my gut flora. I had read a few things that probiotic pills might not really be very good. They might not be effective. They might be just placebo. So I'm trying to rebuild in a natural, organic way, which I heavily believe in. A lot of things, most things in life should be fixable through natural means. What's naturally available. Um, so the other things that's why I did the 4-day fast, because I heard that if you I had read they talked about something called the elemental diet, which is where you're basically consuming pre-digested food in a drink form, and apparently it's disgusting, but it will help you fast for a very long time if you need to do a very long fast. Now, I don't need to do a very long fast. 4 days is plenty. And tonight I will eat a few small things that contain sodium and salt and potassium, just to kind of restart rebuilding my electrolytes, but not overload my system. So I had read, I'm taking forever to get to this point, but I read that if you fast for long enough, your good bacteria in your gut will eat and kill off a lot of the pathogenic or bad bacteria in your gut. So that's the whole purpose of my 4-day fast. It's to give my gut time to fight a war where my good bacteria overtake my bad bacteria, because I'm sure I've eaten more than enough sugar in my life where I'm certain that I have tons of bad bacteria, and I'm doing what I can now to give my good bacteria a fighting chance to be the dominant bacterial strains in my body. So it's just something I sensed. The more I read about gut health, the more I realize probably a lot of my own physical problems, which are not many. I don't have many physical problems. I don't ever really have to. I've not had anything noticeably bad other than just I was starting to dislike the bathroom experience more and more, and I was just fed up with it. I was tired of it. So that was the whole purpose of my 4-day fast. It's you need I guess I would say, I'd recommend if you're going to do an extended fast beyond 2 days, beyond one day, a 24-hour fast, um, try to find a reason behind it, something that will keep you going, something that will keep you on track, that will push you to the end of it, because otherwise, uh, it's super, super hard. I just really, really miss eating food. I miss the pleasure of food, and I'm really disgusted and grossed out by this like bacterial war going on in my mouth that's making me have a bad taste and constantly desiring to clean my mouth out. So that's probably honestly the hardest part. The hunger you would think would be the hardest part, but it's missing food, missing out on the joy of the experience of eating food and having drinks with calories, but also um, your mouth feels so much cleaner when you're regularly eating because you have more saliva production. So the bacteria in your mouth are not growing colonies. But when you're fasting, that's one thing I hadn't read about, but it's something I hate so much. And I can't wait to be done with the fast. Not to eat again, but to kind of not feel disgusted. So, as far as I haven't done, like I did some walks during the fast, I just feel worn out. I feel weary. I don't feel heavy. Like when your muscles in your body feel heavy, your body feels heavy. My body still feels light, but I feel like maybe because the electrolytes are depleting, minerals are depleting, um, and I'm not getting the nutrients that you normally would get. Which maybe try the elemental diet if you, I guess, if you can handle the drinks. That way you're not depleting nutrients in your body at the same time. But I feel like because of that, a lot of people experience, usually late in day one and then day two, they experience a quieting of the mind and body. And what I mean by that is you become less fidgety. It's like if you want to sit still, it's very easy to do. There's nothing going on in my body right now that makes me want to fidget. So that's interesting to me. Like the extra movement depletes, and extra thought depletes. I People say that they get like this really good focus when they're fasting for a while. I have okay focus, maybe slightly better than normal, but really I would say my focus is more or less the same. I would say that I have less extra thoughts going on. Like if I wanted to meditate and just have a quiet mind, it would be very easy to do. So that's maybe what people are talking about. There's a quieting down of your body that's going on. It's like this is something else that you're not used to. You're not used to not going days without food. And so this is the longest fast I've done. I am a little proud of myself for doing it. I think all people can do it. It doesn't take as much willpower as you think, because after that first day, you're not as hungry anymore. As long as you don't have a terrible headache, you are getting enough fluids, and you are trying to make an effort to not have too much depletion of your electrolytes, then you're going to be okay, because after day two, during day two, and then beyond that, you're not going to feel hungry. And just even the sight of food is not necessarily going to make you want to dive in. You lose your desire to eat as far as filling your gut. You Right now, I like I said, I just want to eat just to get rid of this disgusting taste in my mouth, which is very gross. And that to me is the hardest part. Now, I was able to work just fine. I was a little bit out of it at work. Um, I it was definitely harder to deal with people and parenting during this period. But I mean, if you're still quarantined, if you're still stuck at home, try a fast, try an extended fast. Maybe just start with 16 hours. Start with just skipping one meal. I used to do my intermittent fasting where I'd eat dinner, then naturally you're fasting through the night, and then I'd skip breakfast and I'd eat lunch. And that was usually enough to get 16 hours in. And usually the morning time goes by so fast. You're hungry, yes, but sometimes skipping a meal is a good thing. You learn to really appreciate food, drink that has calories, being able to put some cream in your coffee, something like that. I've been drinking my coffee black, and that's, although I can do that, it's not ideal. I don't prefer it. I'm not drinking some high quality coffee that I'm just drinking an off brand cheap coffee, so it's not like it's an amazing experience. So, anyways, that's my experience with 4 days of fasting. It's not some kind of enlightened, oh my God, I've become like limitless. I've gained a superpower through this. I can see my abs all of a sudden. It's nothing like that. It's just a long, long day every day until you're done. And you're glad to have done it. You don't know exactly what's happening in your body, but you sense that it's probably a good thing, that it's not harmful to you. You're not endangering yourself. And I recommend, tiptoeing your way into it. And I think it's different depending on your body type, how much body fat you already have, if you're male or female. So do some research, and I'm, of course, not offering any kind of medical advice on here, but just giving you my experience with it. So I'm going to end here. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. But otherwise, those are the things that stood out to me. There's probably a lot of other things, but what I discussed are the things that stood out to me, and I gave you my reason why I did it. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a good day.